Hey guys, what's up? So we have a new update on Advanced Server and it's patch 1.7.72. First on our list is the buff on Sylvana. Her second skill now has crowd control immunity. You can see it as she changes color when using the skill. They also decrease the range of her ultimate. But in exchange, it's now easier to use the ultimate and flicker combo just like this. I think she deserves this one considering she is easy to counter with CC skills. Next is the adjustment on Harley. His ultimate can now be removed with Purify just like this. Same thing with Diggy's ultimate. And the skill can no longer be blocked by other heroes. To compensate the ultimate, the developers added a new feature on his passive skill. He now gains 5 to 10% attack speed each time he deals damage to an enemy, and it can stack 10 times. As you can see, he is speeding up when doing basic attacks. That's 100% additional attack speed at maximum level and stack. Because of this, they had to remove the attack speed boost on his first skill. The second skill is buffed with faster movement speed and shorter cooldown. It's shorter because the skill will start its cooldown after the first teleport, and it no longer costs mana when at max level. I guess the attack speed and mobility is way better, but it's now easier to counter his damage with Purify and Diggy's ultimate. Maybe the developers are trying to make him less dependent on his ultimate. Next is the buff on Xborg. He will now gain 2 extra Firaga armors on each enemy hero when exploding from his ultimate. The developer said he is too vulnerable after using the skill, that's why they made these changes. The extra Firaga armors will help him survive after hitting multiple targets. Here is what it looks like when hitting 2 enemies. This is for 3 targets. So it lets you easily recover the armor for protection. It's no longer a suicide attempt when going for multiple targets. Next is Minotaur. After attending Anger Management class, he is no longer an angry cow. The developers removed the rage bar, which means he can use his ultimate instantly without the need to rage. It's good because there's no more sign for the enemy that he's about to use his ultimate. And they added a new effect on his passive. Applying crowd control to the enemy will reduce their magic and physical defense. Meanwhile, healing an ally will increase their defense. This effect is doubled after using his ultimate. That's minus 40 on both defenses. The enhanced version of his skills will appear after using his ultimate. And they also removed the attack speed reduction and bonus from his skill 1 and 2. Next is the changes on Natalia's invisibility. The developers changed her invisibility into camouflage state. It's like Leslie's first skill, where you can see them slightly. They removed the exclamation point when there's an enemy nearby, and you can stay in that form as long as you don't cast a skill or receive and deal damage. I think this makes it easier to do backdoor attempts since she can't be seen in the minimap. Next is the buff on Gatot Kacha. His enhanced basic attack now has a bigger range and will dash towards the target just like this. The developer said it's a way to hit enemies easier. Next is the adjustment on Carmilla. They increased the immobilized duration of her ultimate from 0.4 to 1 second. But they had to increase the cooldown of the skill by 12 to 10 seconds. Is this enough to make her popular again? Next is the adjustment on Balmond. His first skill now has a stronger slow effect of 50%, but they had to remove the slow on his ultimate, and the cooldown is now shorter in the early game. They removed the cancel feature on his second skill, but you can still cancel it by using other skills. Next is the adjustment on Guinevere. The developers want to establish her fighter role, so they'll adjust her damage by making it better with defense items. They lowered the magic scaling of her ultimate and first skill, but in exchange, the base damage was increased. This means she can now afford to build defense items without losing too much damage. Maybe 3 attack items and 2 defense is enough. Next is the adjustment on Terizla. They weakened the slow effect of his first skill, but the duration is increased by half a second. That means his movement boost duration is now longer. And they also optimize his ultimate when casting through obstacles, just like this. Next is the buff on Phoveus. They shortened the animation of his ultimate, making it easier to hit fast-moving targets. Next is the nerf on Arlott. The base damage of his second skill is nerfed in the early game. That's minus 25 points at level 1. Next is the nerf on Hylos. They lowered his base HP by 200 points. The developer said it's fair because of his improved mobility from last week. Next is the nerf on Kacha. They made adjustments to his paralyze effect because he is a force to be reckoned with in higher play and tournaments. Each stack of damage reduction is now lowered to 3%, but the max number of stacks is now 8, and the duration is also increased by 1 second. This means he needs more time to apply the full stack of paralyze. Next is the adjustment on Bane. His HP-based passive damage is adjusted to scale with his level, and they've also put a limit to the damage it can deal against jungle creeps. The bounce damage of skill 1 is now 200% at max level, and it no longer increases when eliminating a target. This is his damage without any items. And they made adjustment to his heal by making it scale better when using defense items. Next is the revert on Luoyi's movement speed last week. The limit is now back to 30% just like before. Next is the adjustment on the jungler and gold laner's income. They lower the gold you get from the gold lane siege minions. Meanwhile, they increase the gold from jungle creeps. The developer said gold lane marksmen are farming too fast, and it makes it hard for junglers to keep up. This move will make junglers stronger in the early game, while marksmen will have to wait before they can take over the playing field. Last one is the item adjustment. Golden Staff now has a lower attack stats, from 65 down to 55. And they added 5 points of physical attack on War Axe, from 35 to now 40. So what can you say about the update? Which heroes will be OP after this patch? Share your thoughts in the comment section. That's all for this video. Stay safe and thank you for watching.